Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz here on this Tuesday. Brett and Randy here with you for your lunch hour, and we're glad that you joined us out there. Our program brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith, Construction and Excavation in Central Alabama Community College. Our phone lines are open throughout the program, with the exception of the next segment. We'll have Coach Nick Kleinard from the Auburn men's golf program, SEC champions, #1 in the country. Excited to have Coach Kleinard part of the program here in the next segment to talk about, Auburn winning another SEC title. Coach Kleinard been at Auburn for a while, Randy, and they won it a few years ago, and they are in prime position to make a run and win a national title under his watch this year. And again, taking care of business, beating the #2 team in the country in Vanderbilt. Had to get through Arkansas, I think, who's #9 in the country. Had to get through Alabama, who was #11 maybe. I may have those backwards. But, it's no different in golf than it is in softball or baseball or football or basketball. In this conference, about the top 6 to 7 are going to be nationally ranked. And probably most of them going to be ranked in the top 10.
Well, great facilities. And I think for the last 10 or 12 years, you and I have been talking about this on the AHSAA side. As we post the winning scores on both the girls and the boys side here in the state of Alabama, and I'd love for you to ask the coach that today, the change that you've seen in girls and boys golf in the state of Alabama. And I see scores that if you aren't scoring 65, 66, 67 consistently in high school golf, you're not winning state championships. Oh, yeah. And, Brett, I don't know if you remember, but I do. You and I had really good friends coming through school that played high school golf. And if you scored in the mid-70s, yeah, we'd have some run down there like Lee Williams that won a couple of individual state titles at Benjamin Russell. But few and far between. I mean, if you scored around even par, you were competitive. Right. Now you got to get 5 or 6 below. And just every sport keeps getting better and better. And golf is no exception to that. Facilities here in the state of Alabama are second to none. Facilities close by Auburn and here in the Lake Martin region that you and I grew up and live in, with Wicker Point now to go along with Willow Point. You can't beat it. You've always talked about Farm Links. Beautiful. And beautiful facility there with Central Alabama Community College and the facilities that they have access to. It helps you to recruit when you got great courses for those guys to go play on. No doubt about it. So we're going to catch up with Coach Kleinard next segment to talk about what a great season they've had to this point. I know they're not finished. They have unfinished business. Man, they have got a young team. They probably got the best player in the country right now, and he shot a 66 every single day in stroke play as a freshman and won the individual medalist. Those are the scores I'm talking about on the high school side.
Exactly. He is, and so, just amazing. So we'll talk about that and go into detail. And then, of course, tomorrow they have their selection. They'll find out where they're headed for a regional. That begins the march toward a national title. I sent you guys a text last night, kind of some breaking news. It looks like this SEC Big Ten Advisory Council has been on the move, and they're putting a lot of things together, and they're trying to put a revenue sharing deal together with the athletes through the conference. So, nobody knows what that's going to look like. I'm not going to read through all of this information, but this is where we're headed. Basically, the NCAA has no power. I don't know if they're even going to try to challenge this, but just kind of basically a summation. The case the NCAA has is scheduled to go to court somewhere around the first of the year coming up. If they lose that case, they could be liable for up to $4 billion in damages, past damages to past players, all kind of different stuff. Randy, that organization's dead. I mean, let's just read through the tea leaves. I mean, the way this thing has gone for them in other legal battles, they've lost every one of them. That's why we're where we are with NIL. They've done nothing to try to help figure out how to make this a better situation for college athletics. If anything, they've worsened it, if that's a term. And now you've got all of these individual conferences trying to come together and figure out how to navigate the waters. Because, man, ADs, coaches, they're banging their head up against a wall to try to navigate all this stuff, man. They can't figure it out, and then it's costing them time to try to do what they've got to do to win championships or compete for championships because they're dealing with all this other junk. So,
well, all they know is there's no rules. And any of the coaches and any of the programs that I've had the good fortune of listening speak and promote their programs and promote what they're doing on the NIL front is, look, we love facilities, and
right.
We're proud of the facilities that we have. But give your money to NIL, because right now it's no holds barred. You got to go out there and you got to compete for the Bows and the Joes, and if you're not, you're going to get beat. And I've heard Bruce Pearl say that how many times now, Brett, and many others out there also. So it goes back to what you're saying, though. If there are no rules, then you're just playing capitalistic society. You're having to go out there and you're having to try to give what you can to get X kid to come to your campus over going over to Tuscaloosa or anywhere else that they may be getting offers from as well. So it's a tough market. I'm glad someone's stepping up. You said it last week when the ruling came down, unlimited transfers. And with the unlimited transfers, all that does is say, look, we're not administering this thing anymore. If something comes across our table, we know that nobody really appreciates unlimited transfers. Who likes that? Who likes for a kid to go to 4 or 5 different schools in a 4 or 5 year span? I don't know of any school or anyone that would like that to be the option out there. But that's what the NCAA said this past week. And so with that being said, and you said it on this show, all that tells me is they're no longer administering anything. They're just letting everybody go.
I don't think they care.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been rendered powerless. And so what happens when you don't have any say or power anymore? You just turn a blind eye to what's going on, and that's what's going on with this. Just a few more notes on this, and we'll take your comments and your questions if you got anything you'd like to add. While sources stress that no deal is imminent, details about what a multi-billion-dollar settlement could look like are expected to be shared with campuses in the near future. Myriad of variables to get to the finish line, obviously, but basically what you're going to be doing is taking all that TV money. You're going to be taking all the revenue that would be going to splitting these colleges, and these colleges are going to have to divvy that out to all their athletes. Title IX, football, everybody. It's not going to be just football, man. It ain't going to be just basketball. You're going to have to figure out how to spread the wealth around in an equitable way to everybody involved. That's where we are with this thing. It ain't going to change, man. This ain't going nowhere. And people can cry in their milk and all this kind of stuff. College athletics are over, all right, as we knew them. All right, I think we can go ahead and declare today officially that the college games that we all loved, that's dead. That's in the past. We've been saying it for a while, but I'm officially, as we head into the month of May, I've turned the page. There is no more, I'm coming to play for Auburn because I love Auburn. You might, but a good player ain't going to do that. And a good player ain't going to stay.
And you can't blame the good player for not.
No, they're not going to stay. Well, it's the system that's been created.
Well, it's the system that's created. Let me jump in real quick, though. But it also changes the whole thought process on what an athlete is and when an athlete is worth money.
Sure.
Because right now, you and I.
Well, just go ahead and go to birth.
Well, you and I cover high school sports.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the kids that you and I are about to call at Benjamin Russell this year, and we got 2 or 3 of them that are about to be 4 high 5-star athletes. They have an immediate value.
Of course
when
they do.
Sedarian Morgan this past week gets rated a top 20 prospect in the entire sophomore going into junior class in the country after one camp, neither one of us were surprised. I told my wife this other night, I said, you know what that means for Sedarian? Greenbacks, cash money. And that cash money is not 6 years down the road.
No.
That cash money is immediate. That cash money could really be immediate if NIL goes to the high school ranks, which it has in a lot of states around the union. But it is immediate when he goes to college. That kid's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars on the low end. And you can say you don't like that or not. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It's the reality that we live in, and it's a total change from where it was 10 years ago, Brett, because there's a value that you're creating with that kid a lot younger than what you used to do.
Oh, yeah. And look, don't misinterpret. I'm proud for people to be able to capitalize on opportunities, and people that work hard and have God-given talents should be able to use that to their benefit, no different than anybody else walking around on God's green earth. Here's what you got to do, though. You got to have some type of regulations and rules to follow. The NFL, those guys make plenty of money, right? They earn it. They've deserved it. But they have rules and regulations they have to abide by. And they know that going in. Mm-hmm. And once you know that, everybody's cool with it, right?
Well, I think that's what they're doing here. They're saying the NCAA is not going to give us those rules and regulations. Right. So we're going to create, and it took about 2 months ago you brought this up with the Big Ten and the SEC. We're going to say, look, if you're not going to do it, we got to do it. Because we got to have some kind of regulations to bind us in and allow us to know what we need to do moving forward for our coaches, for our student athletes. And it's just a different day and age, but you have to change your thought process around. And look, what you just said around Title IX right there is massive.
Oh, yeah. It's something.
Think of the value of a women's soccer scholarship now, potentially, compared to 10 years ago.
Everything.
Or a women's softball scholarship compared to where it once was. I mean, major difference, which is it's going to take the love of youth sports and travel organizations and things like that through the roof.
No doubt. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, Coach Nick Kleinert, Auburn men's golf coach, will join us via phone. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Let's get serious. Let's get Arctic Air serious. You want your car and truck to live longer, don't you? Well, it's about maintenance. Same thing with Arctic Air. You see the number at the bottom of the screen? Call them right now. Let me tell you something. You want to be comfortable? We all want to be comfortable.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, like this powerful all-new GMC Sierra 1500 SLT. Now available with up to $13,000 off. Purchase the roomy GMC Terrain SLT discounted up to $97.50 off. And the GMC Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive discounted up to $8,000 off. Enjoy no payments till the end of summer at Glenn Smith GMC. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. 45 minutes left in our show today. I want to go back to the phone lines and welcome in head coach Nick Kleinert from Auburn University, our men's golf coach. Coach, first of all, congratulations on a great season to this point. I know you got unfinished business, but I just got to offer a congratulations because you guys have been really, really solid all year.
Well, War Eagle guys, and thanks for having me on today. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the congrats. Just obviously extremely proud of the guys and their tenacity and their competitiveness this week and just how they played overall. They really gave it their all for the brand in Auburn and for each other and able to come out on top, luckily.
Yeah, Coach, I want to start there. The SEC's brutal. It doesn't matter which sport it is.
Right about that.
It's brutal. And, you know, we talk about baseball. We had Coach Thompson on about a month ago, and, you know, it's almost like you're playing a mini college World Series every time you play a home series or go on the road. And, you know, you look down at the golf rankings, it's no different in golf. I mean, you guys are number one. You got Vanderbilt there. You got Arkansas. You got Alabama. You got Florida. Just talk about playing in this league, I mean, and how much it prepares you for other competition because you're going against the best every single week.
Well, it's just incredible. I think I looked at it yesterday, and it's 6 of the top 9 teams in the country in the SEC. And when you add Texas and Oklahoma next year, I think we'll have half of the top 25 will be from the SEC. And like you said, I mean, it's like that in every sport, whether it's gymnastics or, you know, football, basketball, baseball, it doesn't matter. But it does prepare you. Listen, these kids want to play against the best. They want to compete against the best. They're very driven. They have an internal achiever mindset, and they want to go out and compete like crazy against the best. They want to see where they stack up, right? But it's been good for us to be able to, you know, play against the best, that competition this league offers, and just to find out where you stand and what do you got to do to improve, and, you know, and try to, you know, when you get back home, you go back to the drawing board and figure out, hey, I got to do this, this, and this, whether it be with my body or my game or my mindset to improve and be able to give myself a chance to beat some of these guys because there's some flat-out dudes that compete in the SEC, there's no doubt.
Well, you have a bunch of dudes, and we'll start there.
We do. We got some dudes, ain't no doubt.
Well, I think roster is the key to every sport. I mean, you got to have the horses if you want to be in the game, and you've got a great roster, very competitive within the team. And look, being around golf, and I'll let you kind of add to this, Coach. Golf is a unique sport, and it's an individual sport, but it's a team sport in the fact that you're really competing for one of those coveted 5 spots in a tournament almost every week. I don't know how exactly you handle it week to week, but they challenge each other. Man, you know, iron sharpens iron. So I think that's what makes golf so competitive. And when you take some of the best players in the world competing against each other, you know, week in and week out, man, you can't help but have a strong team.
I agree with you. I mean, I do. But listen, I believe in iron sharpens iron. I think we have a lot of depth on our program. We got a lot of great players, and what makes them improve? How do you develop players? And I think one of the key ingredients into that success formula is them pushing each other. They're practicing with each other. They're working out with each other. You know, they're always competing. And I think that really helps them develop their games over time. And they come in as an 18-year-old kid, and they leave as a 22, 23-year-old man that's ready for pro golf or the real world, whether it be the public or private sector. But that's what I think that's the beauty of it, right? And golf is a challenging game too, in the fact that every week's different, in the fact that we play different grasses and different climates and different elevations and different links and different winds and. But always constantly changing, but ultimately these guys push each other to chase greatness, and I think that's what makes it special as a team, though. You know, where it's not just individual golf; they're pulling hard for each other.
Coach, you guys have had a target on your back. You know, everybody wants to be number one, but when you get to number one, it's tough because everybody's shooting for you. And I read where you said it was important going into the SEC championship for you guys to win stroke play. We monitored you guys for the first couple of days going into that third day, and you were in that fourth, fifth spot, but you were only a few strokes back, and you guys made that charge to tie Tennessee in stroke play. Talk about that mentality and what that did for you guys heading into match play.
We talked a lot about it in all our team meetings. We just constantly harped on the stroke play, because I think that's it's definitely a testament to, hey, who are the best teams is a stroke play format. We were able to come out on top in the fall in the SEC preview in Birmingham in the stroke play portion, and then to do it again too. I remember we were two back with 2 holes to play, and Coyven had just stacked it in there about 6 feet on 8, which is our 17th hole, because we started on 10, the final round of stroke play. And I knew he was going to make birdie, and Brendan Valdez was in the group ahead, and he had just teed off. And I ran over there and said, hey, we need birdie to win outright. And then Tennessee made like a 30-footer on the last hole to tie us. But Brendan Valdez made a birdie, and just how clutch those guys were to come through, and because it meant something to them. They were out there competing their butts off, trying to win stroke play. Match play wasn't even something they were thinking about. So, because once you get to match play, you got to reset your mind, and it's a whole new tournament starts over, right? Doesn't matter what you did to stroke play at that point. But we were able to come out on top, and I think that's just a testament to our guys' mindset and their fortitude to go out and compete on every shot.
We got Coach Nick Kleinert from Auburn with us here, men's golf coach. Coach, talk about Jackson. He shot 66 all 3 days in stroke play. Is that correct?
He did, yep. He shot 4 under 66, par 70. So he shot it all 3 days. He's I tell you what, he's mature beyond his years. He's a competitor. He's a great putter. He's probably one of the top 2 or 3 putters I've ever coached, hands down. And he's a great driver of the golf ball, and he's mature not only on the golf course, but he's mature off the golf course too.
Talk about Josiah Gilbert too. He's the other freshman I wanted to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
He clinches over Vanderbilt in match play. He was up against, I think he's the number 1 player in the country according to amateur golf. Is that correct, Coach?
It is, yeah. I think Gordon's hard to do to 1 or 2. I mean, he's former NCAA champion and just a phenomenal young man and a phenomenal player. But Josiah's special. I mean, Josiah's got a high skill set. When people ask me, I said he's got a PGA Tour skill set. He's going to eventually be out there. It's just a matter of when. And he's just kind of coming into his own. I would say this week was kind of a coming out party for him. I think a lot of people were like, who's this kid? Who's this kid? And it's something that, Coach Williams and Coach Alexander and I knew that we had. And he's just kind of a typical freshman, right? He's just kind of learning his own way and learning a lot about himself and learning how to practice, learning how to prepare, learning how to take care of himself. And he's just been kind of a sponge, and he's just gotten more and more comfortable as the year has gone along. And in the last couple of weeks, he's really turned on the gas and starting to realize how we have another special freshman, not just Jackson Coyven, but Josiah Gilbert as well.
Coach, you kind of shift focus now, just like in any sport. You don't have a very long amount of time to celebrate. You have to turn your focus immediately to the next challenge, and you guys will watch anxiously tomorrow as regionals are announced. Do you kind of have any idea maybe of where you guys will land?
You know, if I was guessing, I mean, it's just a total guess. I mean, my guess would be Baton Rouge because it'd be the number 1 overall seed in the country, and Baton Rouge would be the closest site to Auburn. So I think that's probably where we'll end up. But you're right, we don't have a lot of time. Heck, I had to go play golf yesterday at the NIL event up at Wicker Point. But we don't have a lot of time to celebrate. You know, we've enjoyed it yesterday. I've enjoyed it last night. But we got to reset. Starting tomorrow, we'll reset. And the guys are working on their final exams right now, so we got to get through that and have some success in the classroom. And then we'll get back to work this week and start preparing for regionals because, you know, we won regionals last year, but we want to go win another regional championship for Auburn.
Coach, I got to mention, we're right here in the Lake Martin area, and I think you guys got off the plane coming back from Georgia, landed. You were at the event Sunday evening at Wicker Point, and then you guys played golf yesterday in an NIL event. Talk about Wicker Point, man. What a beautiful venue.
Well, first off, I'm too old for all this. I'm tired. That's a lot. We were up at dinner. Like you said, we landed in dinner Sunday night and then played golf yesterday. But Wicker Point's fabulous. I mean, what a great job Crenshaw Core did on that golf course and in Russell Lands and the vision they have and the vision they've created there. But it's just a special place, and we're very, very grateful to have the opportunity to go out there and play quite frequently.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate you taking time out to be on the program today. Again, congratulations on a phenomenal year to this point. We know you got unfinished business. We'll be watching tomorrow to see where you guys land and following you guys all the way, hopefully, to a national title.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it, and you said it right. The job's not finished, and we look forward to the next one.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Okay, War Eagle.
War Eagle. It's Coach Nick Kleinert, Class A, been with Auburn for a long time. Won it back in 2018, SEC Championship, finished runner-up in 19. He's got them back there at the top again, Randy, so exciting stuff. Up against the break, stay tuned. More to come here on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters. Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dayville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Registration for the 41st Alabama State Games is now open at allagames.com. Join us as we return to Birmingham for an exciting 3 days of Olympic-styled action, June 7th through 9th. There are 24 sports offered and $40,000 in scholarships up for grabs. The Alabama State Games brings a mix of individual and team sports for all ages and abilities, so everyone can go for the gold. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Registration and event info can be found at allagames.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. It'll be a little bit shorter of a segment here to catch up, but we wanted to go a little bit longer with Coach Kleinert. Our program brought to you by Russell Dewitt Center and Building Supply Stores, J. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Central Alabama Community College. One thing we didn't get a chance to add to it, but I heard Coach Kleinert talk about Auburn being aligned the best since he's been at Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
He's been through 3 athletic directors, a couple presidents. He said, Dr. Roberts and John Cohen and everybody in the athletic department are pulling in the same direction. Randy, you and I have talked about that on this program numerous times. And, again, we get crucified sometimes on here from some Auburn fans because we try to relay that our passion, we want to be the best. So to be the best, you've got to kind of expose some of the things you don't do well. Well, Auburn hasn't pulled in the same direction a lot in the last 15 or 18 years. I think that's been solved now. I think it's more harmonious at Auburn than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
All the coaches, Auburn has won an SEC basketball championship this year. They've won an equestrian championship. They won a golf championship. It's hard to win in this league. I don't care. People may want to add equestrian. But no, that's a hard sport. It's very competitive. Georgia's outstanding. Texas A&M is outstanding. If you got a program in this league and something, you're pretty doggone good. If you're not, you're gonna get run out of whatever
you're going to figure it out or you're going to lose your job.
That's exactly right. So, the big three always get the attention: basketball, football, baseball on the men's side. On the women's side, it's softball and then maybe but Auburn's volleyball program has risen. I think Andy and I talked about softball. Yeah, we're down a little bit, but just a few years ago we were in the College World Series final against Oklahoma, who's arguably the best team in the last decade. You can do it, as long as you have things aligned correctly. I feel better about the whole program right now than I ever have. I know we would feel a lot better once football gets rolling, Randy.
Yeah.
But it seems like things are aligned.
Well, you can't complain with the effort on the football side to go out there and get the athletes in, even in the transfer portal right now. Hugh Freeze doing a tremendous job of going and piecemealing hopefully a competitive squad together in his second year, and he's recruiting on the high school front better than I think we ever have, maybe since Pat Dye. And we've had some good stretches under Gus Malzahn of recruiting on the high school front, but I feel better now than I ever have. And Butch Thompson's having a down year on the baseball side, but I don't hear any Auburn fans really complaining that much. I don't. I mean, it happens. And so,
hey, Florida's having a terrible year, too.
The point, LSU not having a good year.
Yeah, no
Ole
kidding.
Miss and Mississippi State win national titles, and then they come back in the previous years, and they don't have anywhere near the results that they expect over in the state of Mississippi. So it is hard. You got to give them a pass from time to time and allow the coaches that you've got the trust in to cure their ills, and I feel like we are. But back to the golf side. I know we're up against a break, but back to the golf side, I think it's more important now with the NIL that you brought up in the opening segment to be competitive and to be aligned and to all be on the same page. Because if you think it's hard to go out there and recruit on team sports, imagine going and recruiting on these individual sports. I bet it gets very testy when you're going and trying to get the top tennis player, the top golfer, the top gymnast like we got with Suni Lee a few years ago. Those don't come cheap. And Auburn to be in this position they're in right now, Coach Kleiner's doing a tremendous job, but the athletic department's doing a tremendous job of giving him the chance to go out there and get some of the best players.
And if you want to compete, that's what you got to do, period. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
.6% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, and a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, and a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation in Central Alabama Community College, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Make sure you go find them on East Glen in Auburn, out in Pepper Tree in Montgomery. Can't say enough about Kathy and Paula and everybody there, Kim, and just great group. Jeff does a great job back there in the meat department, and just so glad to have them part of it. We talk about the daily specials every day. We had it all over our mouth on Friday. It was delicious. Those beans, man.
Well, let me jump in.
I told you.
I do keto during the week.
Right.
And then I'll cheat on the weekend.
Sure.
So I was on keto last Friday when they brought it, and I tore the ribs up like I hadn't eaten in several days, which I pretty much hadn't. But then, so Sunday we got back. We're down in Destin for a soccer tournament. It got home, and I had that plate. I had those extras sitting in the fridge.
I'm telling you, man.
And I pulled them out, and I called Brett and said, Brett, this is the best.
You know what I wish I'd have done? You know what I wish I'd have done with all those plates over there? I should have just left the ribs in there for everybody and took all those individual things of beans out and said, I don't know, man.
What
I
happened
think they left those out for y'all. But, man, the potato salad, equally,
awesome.
just unbelievable. But don't take our word for it. Go to Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine and find out for yourself. You got graduation parties coming up. You got Mother's Day coming up. You got all types of events. You got Memorial Day coming up, the end of May. Man, there's so many things. Don't worry about you ruining the food. You just let them cook it, and then you can spread it out at your house, and when everybody gets there, you can say, man, I've been slaving over all this. Man, I hope it tastes good. And when everybody bites into it, they go, good Lord, this is awesome. You can take the credit for it. Kathy won't mind, I promise you, out there. But yeah, going back, talking about recruiting, I got to bring this up. Auburn right now in basketball is leading for 2 of the top 5 players in the country in next year's class. A.J. Dabonsta from Prolific Prep up in Massachusetts. He is the unanimous #1 player in the country by all services. He's a power forward, 6'8", about 190 pounds. I showed you some footage of him. Also, Caleb Wilson. He's also a forward, 6'9", 195 pounds. He's the #4 player nationally. So, look, don't know where they'll end up, but right now it's a pretty good lean for Auburn in both of those guys' court. And if you keep recruiting the way Bruce Pearl is, man, you keep rolling the rosters in that they keep rolling in. These 2 guys, I know we say this every year, but these 2 guys right here, they're different, man. I mean, you saw them. It's is at a level that we can't even understand.
Look, if you don't get them, so be it. The point, though, is every year there's multiple in the top 20 to 30 players in the country that have Auburn really high on their list. And that's what else can you ask for? In the SEC with the competition level where it is, and I said this to you during the break, Auburn's at a whole different stratosphere than we've ever been. Now, it's not coming back down to earth because we're so rabid about basketball that it will get back to here, and you can sense the passion. And then across the state, Nate Oates is doing, look, tip your hat. They're putting together what they consider, if Mark Sears comes back, the best squad they've ever put out on the court during his stretch, and that's saying a lot. And I say all that meaning we hate each other's guts. We know that.
There ain't no doubt.
So, but, man, isn't it fun. when both are expected to win SEC championships and possibly go to the Final Four, and we play each other a couple of
I'd
times.
kind of like for them to suck, though.
But they're not going to.
Yeah.
That's my point. I think that all tides have risen, and I don't think they're coming back down.
Can you use that on this program?
I didn't mean to say it that way.
I can't believe you just said that.
They
I mean, we're about to get
we
hammered.
rose them, though.
Yeah.
Bruce Pearl's the one that took
I think
this
you're
thing.
right. We rose the ships, no doubt. And then, look, credit Oates for coming in here in a state that, he was behind. Let's just be honest about it. And, he's drawn even, if not risen above a little bit here in the last couple of years. I'm not afraid to say that. I know maybe on the other side they'd never admit, if we were better or something than they were. But I'm not prideful enough to not say Nate Oates has done a good job, and he's been able to get guys that fit his system. I think maybe that's what makes Bruce Pearl and Nate Oates such good coaches.
Yeah, I agree.
They're able to go out and target players that fit what they need. And again, talking about fitting needs, and Ty just looked down. Ty said something about it. I didn't have it in my notes here to say. R.J. Godford's supposed to be visiting today from Clemson.
Remember him well in the tournament.
Dadgum. I mean, 6'8", 228 pounds. He's played in 69 games the last couple of seasons for Clemson. Solid player. Played about 15, 18 minutes a game. Averaged 6.1 points a game, 3.4 rebounds. Just another solid piece to add to, what Auburn's already got, and J.P. Pegues and Duke Miles and, some of these guys that Auburn's been able to go out and add. And in addition to bringing back, Chris Moore, I know, like you said the other day, it's fine, but, maybe Chris Moore, it's another depth piece, a seasoned player that adds depth to this roster.
I think it's a need. I've been saying, and you've even questioned me a couple of times on this, but I feel like we need another 4. We need another 4 that ceiling's really high.
Right.
And I think his ceiling, I think his physicality would really help this squad. I love Chris Moore. I think the players that play with Chris Moore, anyone that's ever been on a team, at times there's glue pieces in the locker room on teams that they just love him. But when he's out there on the court, he's not overly productive. Don't kid ourselves. He plays good defense.
Well, he had a better year last year than he did this year.
Yeah, and he had a decent end of the season.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not knocking Chris Moore. I'm saying, though, that if you can go out and get a piece that's ceiling's higher than that, you got to go and call a spade a spade.
And you may take pressure off him where when he comes in the game, he plays a little bit more loose and he's a little bit more productive.
Agree.
I mean, I don't know how people react to that. Ty said he heard a rumor Auburn might be going to the Dean Dome this year in the SEC ACC Challenge. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Man, that'd be an awesome deal. That'd be worth going.
A lot of
That'd
those
be a
key
fun
guys off of that squad from this year. That was a very good one. And Auburn fans, we're dying for trips.
Well, I'm excited personally.
Where are you going this year?
I'm going to go to Hawaii.
You going to
the Maui Invitational
again?
I mean, this is the second time in 6 years, 5 years that Auburn. I never thought Auburn would ever go once. I mean, even be mentioned.
But the thing is, Hawaii wants Auburn.
They do. Maui wants Auburn
because they know we'll travel.
And you look at this team Auburn's going to be taking out there. You got North Carolina in that tournament. You got Connecticut in that tournament. You got Dayton. You've got Michigan State. You got Colorado. You got some really, really good teams in this Maui Invitational. And, hey, look, what better excuse to use to go to Hawaii and say, hey, we're going to go catch a basketball game or two while we're out there. So, look, that's how these players want to go play for programs that go to those tournaments and go to those type venues and are up against the top competition. Nate Oates has proven that. That's why they made a run in the Final Four this year. They weren't afraid to go play Purdue. They weren't afraid to go play Creighton. They weren't afraid to go line up and play a Gonzaga last year. That's how you do it.
It worked out. Yes, it did.
And Auburn's played UConn 2 out of the last 5 years. Beat them once, they beat us once.
And we'll probably see them again this upcoming year.
That's exactly right. So, all right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
When drinking, take a sober ride home, not someone's life. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Catch a ride, not a buzz.
Hey, can you come get me?
Being buzzed still counts. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here, final segment on the Tuesday show. I want to thank Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores with 9 locations here in Central Alabama for all the home improvement needs, building supply, doesn't matter. Go check one of their 9 locations out. They beat the big box store every time, so make sure you go check them out. J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. I talked to Alexander Smith yesterday. Man, they are all over the place, and if you got a residential project or you got a big commercial project, they can help you out getting your lot prepared and cleared. So make sure you call on them. And then Central Alabama Community College with 4 locations in Central Alabama and Alexander City, Childersburg, Talladega, and Prattville. Whether you're going for a 2-year degree or going to transfer to a 4-year college, they've got the path for you. So make sure you go check out Central Alabama Community College. I want to thank Coach Kleiner again at the top of the hour for his graciousness to come on the program and talk about what a great season the men's golf teams had. And they're not finished. They'll know where they're going tomorrow. Regionals announced at 1 o'clock. He thinks it'll probably be Baton Rouge. We should. We're the #1 team in the country. We should get the closest regional. And won the regional last year. Want to go win it again, and then head on out to California and compete for a national title at the end of May. So looking forward to seeing where Auburn lands tomorrow and kind of where this team ends up.
Fun time to just follow winners. You know, we're no different than any other school out there. We gravitate to winners. We gravitate to our programs that are successful in whatever sport that may be. And I remember back, 6-7 years ago when it was softball, Brett, we couldn't wait for the Softball World Series to come around. And I couldn't wait for the SEC tournament to come around. Clint Myers was there, and we were reeling off SEC championships and playing for national titles. That was the sport that made me think, man, you just put a good product out there. I'm all about it. So golf is that way right now. Yes.
Let's talk about Malcolm Simmons, Randy. You posted something. One of the Freeze Four that's coming in. You know, he and Perry Thompson haven't arrived on campus, but Malcolm's chomping at the bit. I talked to him the other day. Man, he's so excited to get to campus. I think he's going as soon as graduation's over at Benjamin Russell. He'll be at Auburn the next day. And again, another feat for him this past week in the long jump. Broke a long-time record.
Well, the thing I love about Malcolm is he likes to compete in whatever he's doing, and he's doing it all out. And, his heart is in whatever he happens to be in at that moment. We watched him in basketball. His heart's in it. He's defending. He's doing whatever he can to try to help his team win. And track and field, he loves it. When you talk to him, man, he loves it. You can read it in his face. And I'm super proud for Malcolm. 2 weeks ago, he cleared 7-foot barrier on a high jump. He barely missed it on the indoor track season. He jumped 6'10 and a half.
Right.
He didn't know where he clipped the bar, but he knew he had clipped it. And I talked to Coach Moon, who's his track coach, and Tricia said, Randy, I'm telling you, I thought he cleared it. Wherever he hit it, I didn't see it.
Well, and you don't even have to even barely touch it. It'll knock it off.
And so that was back during the indoor season, but outdoor he clears 7 foot. And then this past week, he breaks the state long jump record that was set in 1990. I think it's more important to say how long a record sits. I said this down at our shop this morning. There's a lot of jumping in this state that has gone on since 1990. And for you to go out there and break a mark by one of the best athletes I've ever seen here in this state, Orlando Waters.
Up at Anniston.
At Anniston High School, ends up going over to Arkansas to play his football there. But at Anniston High School, for one of the best high school teams the state's ever had.
They destroyed.
You and I rode over one night when we were, I think you may have been a freshman and I was in the 8th grade, vice versa, something like that. They had us down by 50. At half.
They did.
That was a juggernaut of an Anniston squad, and he was the best athlete.
Christopher on that team.
He was the quarterback, but Orlando Waters was the freak show of an athlete, and he broke the long jump state record in 1990, and it took till 2024 and Malcolm Simmons to go break that thing.
That tells you, and you've said it to everybody, what Auburn is getting in Malcolm Simmons. I know that Cam Coleman, and he deserves all the hype, don't get me wrong. I know Bryce Kane's already been there too. And, and Perry Thompson at Foley, everybody's doing a little comparison to the size and who played before him, Julio Jones, being at that high school, natural comparison. But Malcolm Simmons, man, don't be surprised if, when all the dust settles, he's the guy that's wooing everybody on Saturdays at Auburn because of what he does. Everybody's got their own skill set, and everybody's got their own talent. But Malcolm does so much so well. He's physical. He's fast. He's shifty. He just knows how to beat somebody he's lined up against.
Well, whoever's competing against him better emotionally be ready to compete with him, not only physically, but the way that he carries himself.
Right.
Because coaches are going to gravitate to that type of personality. I don't care. You're going to get
so much energy from him.
He's never down. I've witnessed some tremendous athletes over my stretch of calling ball games with you. Some are an emotional roller coaster. Some you don't know what you're going to get from one moment to the next. Him, I've never seen him down. If he's out of a game, he's over there kicking a ball all over the field or slinging it from one side of the field to the other, laughing and jumping and interacting with teammates on the sideline. And if you don't think that's important, you've never been around a team in your life. I mean, you just haven't, because that brings everyone around you up when you're emotionally that way. and to go along with being an unbelievable athlete. And you don't just go and break marks that have been around for 34 years without being a crazy athlete. And I say this, and I don't say this derogatory towards mine and Brett's high school at Benjamin Russell, but we're not known for track. We don't have a whole lot of great track coaches out there coaching him how to jump.
No.
There's no jump training going on. I'm sorry.
No.
There are coaches that embrace these kids and want them to do well, but he doesn't have anybody necessarily teaching him the proper.
He had the greatest coach that gave him that talent. The good Lord.
Yes, he did.
Hey, the good Lord reached down and said, I'm going to give you some talent that not many people have. And he's using it, man, let me tell you. And I'm excited, I know you are, about seeing Malcolm in orange and blue coming up this fall and to join the rest of this great receiving
track
corps.
and field, too. Don't think he won't be out there.
He'll be running track at Auburn. There ain't any doubt he'll be on the track team at Auburn as well. So that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Auburn Blitz. We'll be back with you same time, same place tomorrow. For Randy, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We'll help you out. See you tomorrow.